Tracy from Maker Me. You can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, Tea Plays Nice, YouTube, Facebook as either Maker Me UK or Tea Plays Nice. We do have a group on Ravelry I've reopened, and it is the Maker Me _ Tea Plays Nice. Please come in and say hello. I'm going to have to keep this video really short and sweet today because I'm filming with a new setup. Lots have happened since the last video. Been a bit of a roller coaster ride, shall we say. So let's get into it. So what's been going on? Well, I recorded, it must be about 3 weeks ago now, 3 maybe 4 weeks ago, and I was hoping to get back to 2 weekly schedules. When I sat down to do my second video, I actually recorded the segment, went to upload it onto the normal computer that I would use, and the computer literally died a death. It kaput. So then I tried to use it on the little idea pad that we have between myself and my husband, and it was only then did we realise that that hasn't got an SD card slot on that idea pad. So we've had to invest in a new laptop for all the work stuff that I want to do. I will be going back to college at some point, so I needed it for that. I needed it for the caravan flyers and advertising and things like that. So we had to wait for the new laptop to come, and whilst we were doing that, I thought, well, I might as well get a new SD card and try using it actually on my Nikon camera rather than my JVC little camcorder. So this is the first video using this setup, so if it gets onto YouTube, I hope it's okay. If not, I apologise and I must try harder. So that's that little thing that happened. And then unfortunately yesterday I was out and about driving, and there was an oops moment, and wasn't really my fault. I swerved to avoid somebody driving way too fast. They drove off, my car hit a wall. So I've had the expense of looking to sort that out this morning, hence if I'm looking a bit ragged and a little bit tired. And then on top of that, it never rains. We've also got Dale poorly again. As you know, the reason I stopped working quite so hard on the podcast and everything a couple of years ago, or last year I should say, was because he'd had heart attacks and a stent fitted, and that seems to be causing a few problems again at the moment. So things are a little bit hectic in our house. But anyhow, you don't want to hear about that, so I might as well get on to what I've been making. The little cardigan, baby cardigan that I was knitting, that was finished, but it has gone off to the recipient because it was a quick turnaround. Mum never asked me for anything in plenty of time. But that was finished and sent to Mum. I haven't done any work on my Hokey Locatelli jumper. I've got it on the dummy. I'll just bring the dummy in. Whether you'll actually see it on camera, I'm not quite sure. But I've done the cable, I've done one side sleeve, I've got the other sleeve to do and the neck to do. And unfortunately, as I was putting it on the dummy, I realised I'd cabled that little section wrong. But I'm just going to leave it in as a design feature. Error, shall we say. And so, yes. So I'm quite happy with how that's coming along. But it is on the back burner because I'm trying to do other things. And sorry, out of shot. So what else am I working on? Well, I was taking part in the Stephen West Mystery Cow, the Sparkling Pop. I know it's finished now, all the clues are out there, so I'm not going to spoil anything. I've only just started. Sorry about the carrier bag rustling, it's put in there for ease for today. I've only just started clue 3. I'm not sure if I'll do another mystery cow. I'm in the middle of a row, so I can't even show you properly. Only because I'm not quite sure. I like it, but there's a little bit at the end of the shape of the shawl. I'm thinking, I really don't like the way that's finished. But Stephen West never fails to surprise and show different things. So the first clue was this chevron-y section. And I started it using my own yarns. We cast on with an I-cord, and then we went into the chevrons, and I used my popper colours, were all tonos, and I used Mr. Fox as my main colour 1. Then I went into, these are all Maker Me UK yarns. Then I went into Mr. Fox and Pistachio alternating. Then I went into the Pistachio colourway. Then I went into the Pistachio and Olive Fatono sections, and then I went into the Olive Fatono, and again that was finished off with the Pop I-cord bind off. I'm hoping you're getting this. I'm not quite sure because this is the first time I've used the camera at this angle. So I was quite happy with that. I liked that section. Took forever for a first clue. Really took forever. Then we did clue 2, which was the slip stitch, which I've heard is reminiscent of the exploration station, which I have done. And again, that's using your 3 main colours in this slip stitch pattern of a wedge, and it goes wide down to slim all the way along. And then you cast, you kind of like finish that section with one of your pops, and then you go into making these little triangles, and I've only just started the triangles, so I'm just literally on to the triangle section. Now there is, on this you've got the option of doing the triangle section or the brioche sections. I've just decided to do triangle sections, garter sections or brioche. I like brioche, but I want this to be quite a simple knit. So, and I don't like brioche enough to do the whole thing. So I'm actually doing it as the garter. So that's how that's coming along. I will show you the colours if I have them. So that was Mr. Fox. And that was on a copper stellina base. And it's got very pale reds, greens, oranges and browns. Very, very pale. So that was Mr. Fox as my main colour. Then I had, oh, there's not a lot left of Pistachio. So Pistachio was my second colour. Then I used, not a lot of this one left, Olive Fatono. Now I know Pistachio and Olive Fatono are on the website, on Etsy at the moment. And then I just used a couple of random minis that I had lying around. So that's how far I've got with that one. I am knitting on something else, but it's downstairs at the moment because that tallies in with some other exciting news I can share with you in a moment. This is a new colourway, and I'm sorry it's not been uploaded to Etsy. I know Jibby Roo Sews was asking about a colourway, and I said I would hopefully get them uploaded for Monday. Unfortunately, with everything that was going on at home over the weekend with the car, hubby, car, work, I didn't get a chance to do it. So this is a new colourway coming out, and this is gingerbread, and it's quite a flecky, speckly, and this is a pattern I'm working on, so I don't really want to show too much, but I can just show you how the colour knits up on gingerbread. So it's quite, I really like it. I think it's coming out absolutely lovely. So you're just getting hints of the red, the pinks, the greens, the browns, and then I've literally used a chestnutty brown contrast here, and again that's a colourway that I've dyed up. So I'm hoping, and that's my own pattern sock I'm doing, and I'm doing it on 2.25 zing needles, which are a lovely new local yarn store, which is the Wool Tree at Orriston. They're stocking all the Knit Pros, which is lovely to be able to get them so close now, it's lovely. Our previous wool shop, the wool pallets, she did have them, but she's closed down unfortunately, but she didn't have the whole range of zings. I don't think she did zings, I think she did symphony. But yeah, so that's what I'm knitting on basically, and I haven't got finished objects to show you. So as I say, it's going to be really short and sweet. The other exciting news is that Zoe of Pins and Needles podcast and Jenny of the Owl About Yarn podcast, they were hinting heavily over the summer that they were going to be setting up a knitting retreat for October next year, and the spaces were going to be limited, and if you wanted to get in on it, it was better to sign up to their newsletter, and it was called the Knit Tea Retreat. And we signed up to the Knit Tea Retreat newsletter, and then they released it booking early for the newsletter subscribers over a Saturday and Sunday, and then if there were going to be spaces left, they were going to open it up to everybody else to book on, I think it was the Monday following that. Well, the booking started at Saturday. I was out and I got a little bit because I just literally, it slipped my mind. I came home in the evening and saw that it was booked up, pretty much booked up. So I got on and said, I hope I'm not too late. Happened to be I was the last person to book on. They had 50 places. It sold out within, I think they said 22 hours. So it just goes to show the need for knitting retreats in the UK, the need for UK indie dyers and suppliers. I'm not knocking any of our US or Canadian or anywhere else that do indie dyeing, but I think it's really good that we're supporting local, i.e. the same countries, indie dyers. So I was thrilled to be excited to get booked onto that. I've still got to book my hotel. I've decided to go up on the Friday evening, or Friday. I've booked the Friday off, so I might even travel up on the Thursday evening, depending. But I've got the full Friday, the full Saturday, the full Sunday and the full Monday off work. So I'll either be going up Friday morning and coming home Monday afternoon. So I've even booked that far in advance in work, and I am going to go. So we had to pay the deposit, that's all paid, and we've got a balance. But there are classes going on, and then there is going to be a possible craft market on the Sunday that will be open to everybody, not just the attendees of the retreat. It will be open to everybody. So if you're interested and you live near Wales, there will be a craft market. I know there will be indie dyers. I have expressed an interest to have a place on the market, but I'm really not worried if I don't get it, because I'm going for the retreat. I'm not going to pimp myself, if that's putting it politely enough. I want to enjoy the experience of the first retreat, and I'm hoping it will become a regular thing, and I'm hoping I will be able to be a regular attendee. I can't wait to meet some lovely people. There's already so much chatter going on in the thread. It's lovely, and Jenny and Zoe are just so friendly and funny, and I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome. I think we desperately need, I live down in Plymouth, so it's quite hard for me. I was hoping to get to the Nottingham Expo in a couple of weeks' time. Don't know if that's going to happen because Dale's hospital appointments are happening around then. I am hoping to go to Stitch Fest, which is in Totnes. I'm sure it's Totnes. Yeah, Totnes. On the 4th and the 5th of November. So that's Stitch Fest if anybody's down this way and they would like to go see it. I'm convinced it's the 4th and 5th of November. Just log on, it's all online, so you'll be able to find that there. And I know they've got some lovely indie dyers and other things going along there. Going back to the Knit Tea Retreat, in your fee you do actually get 2 classes within that. and I know they've got 4 tutors. Well, I'm hoping to do Fair Isle knitting colour work, and I kind of like know how to do it one-handed, but I would like to be able to do it with holding 2 strands with different hands. Look, I'm even doing that. And I'm also hoping to do the steeking workshop. Steeking is something I've never done, so I would really like to do that. So I'm absolutely cock-a-hoop that I might be going to that one. So I've started to put feelers out about doing some fairs down by me. I really do want to do more hand dyeing. I've got some to show you now that I've been dyeing this week and last week. I'm hoping to get them onto the website. Please bear with me. It's on Etsy in the next couple of days, maybe by this evening, but it just depends how much work gets panned out. So with the retreat, the other thing I'm working on is downstairs. With that, Zoe and Jenny have decided, because it's so far in advance, they want to keep the momentum going. Now we've all got excited, we've booked, we've discussed where we're staying or hoping to stay, we've discussed where we're coming from, who's on their own, who can meet up. I know where I'm planning to stay, there is a lovely lady staying there as well, so maybe we can meet up for breakfast and an evening meal, or sit of an evening back at the hotel and do some knitting. But they're doing, what they've decided to do is with their tutors, they're going to do a cal every quarter with one of the tutors. And this quarter, it's just started, is Anakin Alice. But I know that that is open to correct me if I'm wrong, it's open to non-retreat attendees, the cows. And there's going to be some amazing prizes. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I said I would submit a prize. I'm going to be donating a skein, 100-gram skein of yarn, a mini coordinating with that, a project bag and needle cozies if you like sock knitting with that, and maybe a little progress keeper, all inspired by their logo, which is a little teapot, and it pours a little ball of yarn, and the colours I'm inspired by. So I said I would send that prize. And I have the skein of yarns done. I need to make the bag. I've got an idea of what I'm doing for the progress keeper. So that's all in. So what I've decided, this is the mini. These are one-offs. These are not available. And I don't think they'll be available to anybody not going to the knitting retreat. I don't even know if I'm going to dye up any more of this, so this might just be a one-off skein for the winner of this actual cow. So you've got the lovely greens. It is a bit of a tonal green. There are light shades and dark shades. So that's your 20-gram mini. Then what I've dyed up is, this is titanium white base. Okay, it's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon, and it's literally lilacs and greens with a bit of white. So it's a very tonal skein. I'm hoping you can see that. Again, apologies if you can't, but I'm learning with the new setup. So there you go. That's that one. So that is what I'll be sending off to Zoe for a prize in the retreat, along with the bag. I'm hoping to get that done in the next couple of weeks. I've got a while. The first cow doesn't end until January, I think, so I think I've got a while to send that out. So what else have I been up to? Well, I've already shown you the sock design with gingerbread, and this is gingerbread as it appears on the skein. It's a lovely creamy base. This is a 50-gram skein. Okay, so it's about 200 meters, and it's got the browns and the reds and the greens going into the pinks. So that is what it looks like on the skein. And again, that is what it looks like rolled up, and that is what it looks like knitted. So that is gingerbread. Along with gingerbread, I did dye up some minis of chestnut brown to go with it. Again, it's quite tonal. I would, disclaimer here, these minis have got little white areas on them. Okay, so there are just a couple of spit spots there. I'm sorry about that. I was going to over dye and I thought, but then it changes the whole look of the whole skein, and that's not what I wanted. That is the colour I wanted. But I think you'll get away with it. As you can see, I'm knitting it. And I like the colour it's coming out. So it's knitted on there. It's exactly the same colour. And that's what it looks like skeined up. So there are a couple of white areas, but I'm quite happy to live with that. And for those that didn't want the brown, I did actually do a red oxblood. It was the dye, but I've kind of like did my own take with it. Again, there's little white spots in there, but I'm quite happy to live with that. Okay, so if you didn't want the sets, whoop, sorry. Oh my days. So you've got that, you could use it that way as a set, or you could use that way as a set, depending whatever floats your boat. So that's gingerbread. While I was doing those, I actually I had a lilac day, which tends to be how I'm going at the moment. I'm having lilac days, then I'm having, you'll see it as I go along. So this was the lilac tonal that I've dyed up, or lavender. So this is lavender. That's exactly what it's going to be called in the shop, just plain lavender, no fancy smanchy names. There are little areas of white, pale lilac, and the darker. Okay, absolutely love that. Again, that is 75% superwash, 25% nylon. That's lavender. While I was doing that one, I did lavender, pink and white. And this just shapes to me unicorn. So this is what I'm going to be calling unicorn tail. So you've got very, very pale, very, and it does knit up very subtle, I must admit. This is what I'm doing on the shore for the cow for Anakin Alice. So if you want to see how it's knitting up, there is a progress photo in the Anakin Alice cow shawl in the Knit Tea Retreat group on Ravelry. Or follow me on Instagram and you can see it on there as well. It does knit up very, very pale. Absolutely love it. So that's unicorn tail. Along with that one, I did I took the dark lavender and I actually added some mint green, and this is lavender blue dilly dally, lavender green. Okay, so it's lavender blue dilly dally, lavender green. And that is an old song my nan used to sing, because she used to grow lavender in her garden and the bees used to just flock to it. So that is lavender blue dilly dally, lavender green. Okay, so that basically, look at the yummies. Look at the yummies. So that was my lilac dyeing day. And while I was dyeing up the large skeins, they're all 100 gram skeins. While I was dyeing up the 100 grams, I actually dyed up the lavender mini, the lavender blue dilly dally lavender green mini. These are 20 grams. There is the pale pink lilacs unicorn tails mini, and then as a contrast I actually just took the pale green and thought I'd do a little skein. So there's 80 grams there of contrasting minis. Okay, So, and I just think they all look lovely together anyway. So that was my lilac dyeing day. Then I wanted to do something with Halloween. I think my pumpkins are downstairs. I've done little pumpkin pie stitch markers. They're on the website. Sorry, I haven't got everything to hand. Some of it's because I'm now stocking it for the wool tree in Orriston. She's taken some of my yarns and some of my goods to display there and sell for me. So she took pumpkin squash, which was one of my colourways, and it's got the lovely yellows and oranges. And to go with pumpkin squash, I did Jack, which is the lovely orange colourway. It really is a lovely burnt orange, if you can see that. Okay, again, tono. So that was how they look together. So that's pumpkin squash and Jack. So that was them. And then while I was dyeing up orange colourways, I came up with, is this fruit salad? I think this is fruit salad. Yeah, fruit salad. It's paler, it's more of a pinky orange rather than a dark orange. It's more of a pinky orange, and then it goes into very pale yellow and buttercuppy colour. So that is my fruit salad. And again, you can get fruit salad on a mini if you wish. Okay, and these are all 75%, 25% nylon sock fingering 4-ply. That's the only way I do it at the moment, are the fingering. I'm hoping later on to maybe go into double knits and sport weight. Then I decided to have while I was doing the orange, I did some blues, and I've actually done the same colourway, but it's on 2 different bases. And this one is Snow Queen. So this again is a very tonal blue, white. Some of it's almost like a pale denim-y blue. But it's Snow Queen. That's on the normal 75%, 25% nylon. Then I've got it on Silver Stellina, Snow Queen. So again, then we have, I need to get my thingies right. I know it's 5% Stellina. I think it's 15% nylon. % nylon, 75% superwash wool. All the details will be on UK Making Me UK Etsy. So that was Snow Queen. This last week, excuse me, I don't know why, because I was trying to do what everybody else is doing, is the Christmas colourways. And I'm no good at working under that pressure of have to come up with a Christmas colourway, have to come up with an Easter colourway, have to come up. I will try. And I think Gingerbread and Bad Santa that I did a couple of weeks ago, sorry about that, it seemed to, I ran out of space, so I've had to kind of like fudge this bit together. I was saying about the Christmas colourways and the pressures, and I was saying that Gingerbread and Bad Santa that I did a couple of weeks ago kind of like sealed the deal for me for Christmas this year, because I'm new, I'm just learning, so they will be enough. So then I'm having to record this little bit again, because it just literally died on me halfway, so it's a little bit, the lighting's changed slightly, so do excuse me, and I think the camera angle might have changed slightly. I'm hoping you get this. Then I wanted to do a colourway where I was constantly thinking of cockatiel, parakeet type dye lot, but I was thinking of greys, yellows, aquas, that type of thing. So I came up with the grey first, and this is the little mini. This is available on minis and 100 grams, I think, it might be 50. It will be updated onto the website, so forgive me, I dyed up so many different lengths so many colours on one day that my brain's gone to mush, and some of them are still drying, so I'm not quite sure. But this is the silver grey that came out of my cockatiel vision. I really like it because it is really, really soft silver grey, and it's got some, you know, all my tonals seem to go a darker light and then maybe a hint of white, but I like that. So that is my tonals, or what I foresee as a tonal. That's silver grey. Then I went on and did the aqua that was kept popping up in that, and this, I love this. This is 100 gram aqua, and again you've got the dark shades, the light shades, and the white. It is aqua. If I put it next to Snow Queen, you can actually see the difference in the colour. So I'm quite pleased with it, because aqua is a colour I had to make up myself out of mixing my dyes. So I'm really, really pleased with how that came out. I have written the recipe down, so hopefully I'll be able to use it again. I'm a bad dyer. I forget to write recipes down and I go, oh, I don't know, I might have to fudge the next lot. So I am learning though. I am getting better at writing everything I do down. I've got my base stocks down. I know what I'm doing there. I know how much water to put in the pans for my immersion dyeing. So it's getting better for me. It's getting easier. So that was the aqua. Then I was thinking of the yellow that I wanted to go with it. And I came up with, this has been reskeined since I recorded. So again, you've got the greys, you've got the whites, you've got the yellows. I absolutely love the softness, but not too soft that you don't see the colours. I really, really like this. This is a 50 gram skein. I will undo it so you can actually see how the colours work. So you've got half the skein is the lovely, lovely silver grey, half the skein. Then on the other half of the skein, I go into the buttery cut pale yellow, then the actual vanilla, shall we say, the actual creaminess of the sock and the yarn. And then we've got the aqua tones again, they're all in there, they go from the dark to the light. So that is that colourway. These is yet to be named. I'm hoping to get it in the shop tonight, if not sooner. Might be later with the way my life's going at the moment, but I am trying to get things done. I am trying to get super organised, but it will take time. And then I wanted to do, like, I'm not very good at doing these speckles that everybody do. They kind of like do the immersion dye and they sprinkle the dye over the top to get lovely, lovely speckles. I struggle with that because to me, I'm never happy. I never like any of my yarns when they're in the pot. I don't like them when they're out the pot. I don't like them when they're drying. I have tantrums. I say I don't like. And then they dry. And then I skein them and I go, actually, I quite like that. So, but this one I'm very pleased. It kind of like worked out how I envisaged it in my head. So I do my, different to me, there's just a little few flecks of the orange that I envisaged in there. There's the yellows, there's the whites, there's the aqua blue, there's green where they transition, and then there's the greys. So, and this is on a Stellina base. I absolutely love that colourway. So that one will be going into Etsy. So that's my dyeing pleasure this week. I'm hoping to record in 2 weeks time, all being well. I might even, if I do go to Stitch Fest, try and get a bit of video footage from there to show you and share. Can't promise anything because at the moment we're a little bit short staffed and we're getting called into work. So other than that, it was lovely to sit and spend time with you again. Thank you for new viewers. Thank you for returning viewers. I hope to see some of you chatting in the group again soon. I've really missed you and it's nice to be back. However intermittently it seems to be. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.